What's up, y'all? We're here for our weekend Oracle and Tarot message. We're kind of looking at the week that's gone by and reflecting on it and kind of, taking into account what we've been working with and learning. And basically, I'm feeling like the message is very direct and very clear. From the Radiant Sun Oracle, we have Jupiter in Capricorn, which is control, followed by Venus in Cancer, which is birth. We've got Jupiter in Libra, which is negotiation. And then underneath control, we have the death card. Which is interesting because the death card is ruled by Pluto. And I believe today or tomorrow, Pluto leaves Capricorn and heads into Aquarius. Interesting. Holding on with our dead lifeless fingers. Pull Pluto from me, from my dead lifeless fingers. That's what Capricorn's saying. All right. And then underneath birth, we have strength, but it was in reverse. And underneath negotiation, we have chariot. Now, before we start the actual message, there was just something that I noticed, and it was that it's like really specific, but I couldn't help but notice, even though control came first and birth control, like kept standing out to me. I needed to say that. And also the strength card in reverse has to do with not giving up on your dreams right before they come through. Right before a manifestation, we're challenged and it's going to look like it's not going to happen. But there are other cards in this spread, literally Cancer or Venus in Cancer, and also Jupiter in Libra that talk about successful, fulfilling relationships and marriages, and particularly, the desire and need for to nurture and raise children here. So maybe you are wanting to get pregnant and you are feeling worried that birth control has affected your fertility. Maybe you're feeling an urge to get really controlling with the process and, try to, in a panicked way, from a state of reaction, try to reach for every solution to try to force your agenda along. And the message here is to relax and let go and allow the timing to just flow, and trust that if you have a child that is waiting to come through you, they will. And if the timing is not right now, it's because that child has wisdom and they are waiting for the perfect time to arrive so that all the conditions are the way that they need to be for that child to play out their soul's tikkun, and also for yours. So there may be things that are affected by the timing of that child's arrival, and you just have to trust that process. But I do think that this portends a possibility of conception, because the strength card in reverse is don't give up, and also don't force this to happen. You won't get what you want through force. And when you get all uptight about conceiving, that makes it very difficult for the conception to happen. Just physiologically, there's a lot of reasons for that. I'm not a gynecologist or a fertility expert, but just being a woman in the world and paying attention to what you hear and, issues that concern you. But I just do feel that there is forward progress like to be had. It's just that you have to let go of your timeline and your agenda and surrender to change, and also let go of the past. There's also a message here about letting go of something from the past, because there's certain grief around it that's holding you back from moving forward. Maybe you had some trauma around pregnancy or fertility, or anything like that in the past, or even just a heartbreak that you wanted to have this with a certain person and it didn't play out that way. And maybe in an unconscious way you're still carrying it right now, and you need to let that go. And maybe you don't even emotionally feel that way anymore, but it's like still like in the hard drive, so you need to like erase the file essentially. So to move forward and to really be in alignment with where you are now, with who you're trying to conceive with. Let's see. Was there anything else about the fertility? Maybe not. And if you definitely aren't trying to conceive right now, maybe, watch out, take precaution. Okay. So generally, getting into the reading for everyone, not just the, that was another thing. On a metaphysical level, there is like a prompt to maybe reach out to, like, look to your mother or your roots from even the mother's side, all your ancestry and, your family tree, but maybe particularly pay attention to the mother and the mother's side for a generational wound that may be, ready for healing, and may be time to release or correct or, revisit something again, because you may, perceive it in a whole new way, or take something away from it. Or maybe everyone has had time to reflect and grow since that, topic was originally, brought up, before. Okay, so now for real, the real reading for everyone who is not necessarily concerned with childbirth. Okay, so Saturn, this control card, is asking us, like the concerned father, a caring father, like before Pluto transformation and death leaves my sign, and I'm not, before you're out of my nest and out of my tutelage and mentorship, and my influence, before you leave my house and you are no longer under my authority, you need to think long and hard about your daily structures, right? And are you doing what needs to be done to create the vision and life that you want for yourself? It's time for you to take control of your faculties and your kingdoms. It's time for you to get your mindset under control, your consciousness, your perception. It's time to get our emotions under control. It's time to, get our physical world in order, and really hone in on healthy structures and routines that are going to support the building and the expanding of our dreams this year. And this is also asking us and cautioning us not to be too rigid or too inflexible, right? If issues come up and you're trying to stick to the letter of the law, and you're too stubborn and you're too rigid, that will probably work against you too. So, be flexible, but also be disciplined. Practice your restriction to go against your comfort zone and your emotionalness and how you feel. Be more mature than that. Rise above your feelings. Multiple times in this reading, the cards are asking us to overcome our sensitive emotions, to overcome there's almost like this grief that we are not even aware of, right? And we need to allow the past to be died away and let the past be in the past, and to allow change, even sudden change, to move us forward toward what we want. But we're actually because of a feeling of lack and fear and insecurity we're trying to control, and it's manifesting in subtle and not so subtle ways. And so, on the one hand, it's like we need to get control of ourselves and self-mastery and self-control and, bootstrap ourselves up and, keep calm and carry on, so to speak. But on the other side of it, we don't need to be, too so controlling from a place of fear, right? But which triggers and aggravates our unhealed attachment style, right? Unhealthy attachment styles, which might cause anxious attachment and, being hypervigilant and overbearing, or, too much. Whereas too controlling, whereas, an avoidant attachment could cause you to shirk your responsibilities and avoid what needs to be done. So getting all of that under wraps, it's positive to be able to have some kind of self-control when it comes to your emotions without suppressing them. We need to feel them and we need to acknowledge them, but we need to be able to make decisions and act according to our divine intuition and according to our logic and divine guidance, and not our feelings. We need to make sovereign choices and own our decisions with free will. If we're making our decisions based on our emotions, we're reactive and we're in an effect consciousness, and we are the effect of our environment, and therefore we have no control over the laws of within the laws of spirituality in our life, right? The laws of energy and the laws of attraction. It's like it's like how to operate a vehicle and you're good at driving, but if you don't know how to operate a car, it's like you might still be in the car, but you're not going to be a safe driver, right? So it's like trying to understand, mindset and emotion and allow space for it without suppressing it, but don't let that control your decisions and actions. Don't be reacting from a reactive, affected state. So letting the past be in the past, moving forward, trying to hold on to the past is only giving you the illusion of control, and it's actually holding you back. So birth here, Venus in Cancer has, it talks about a desire for security and like stability and like beauty in life and comfort, right? This is this newborn. This is us being reborn into this new life. The shell, this like rocky cave or cavernous like arch around the baby represents the shell of Cancer, which is, defense mechanisms sometimes, or it's sometimes like trying to stay hidden away and not, like step outside of our comfort zone. Therefore, we're staying small and playing it safe, but we're not putting ourselves out there enough to really grow and make our dreams a reality, right? This the Strength card in reverse, it's like, hey, don't give up. Like whatever you do, you're so close to achieving what you want, but like it's just that like you've got to get over the hump. In every stage of cycles of creation, we the hero face this moment where we think, oh my gosh, what is the point of this, all that I'm doing? It's like I'm completely ineffective, nothing is working, this is all pointless and it's never going to work. And that we're being tested to see, are we going to give up? Are we going to resign ourselves to despair? And if we don't, if we keep persisting and keep pushing through, then we pass the initiation and we go into that next level. So right now we're pushing through. We're not giving up on our vision for love and abundance and, being in alignment with our purpose and being successful, finding an aligned romantic partner and having, a flourishing relationship and having flourishing relationships with friends and family. It's like, don't give up on this vision for your future. Hold steady, hold true to it. This card talks about someone who's deeply sensitive and has very deep, sensitive emotional feelings and romantic feelings. And so it's like, don't let your sensitivity get the better of you and cause you to be bent out of shape and like fall into a depression and give up. Oh, because what I was going to say here is that there may be some attachment to an idea of something in the past that didn't play out the way you wanted, right? A disappointment. And so, you know, instead of, where was I going with that? It's like, don't let that perceived failure or that thing not working out, like, don't make that, like, as long as you don't give up on your dream and resign yourself to despair, it's like all the effort that you put into past things that didn't work out, it's like they got put into a spiritual bank account, and it's like rollover points, right? So that like it's making this thing that's coming even more powerful, even more huge. But there is some unexercised grief that we're not even really aware of. Maybe it's like a low-level pain that we've just become used to and complacent to, and we don't even notice, right? That we've been carrying around this sorrow or this grief. It's like we just got used to it. And there's all these defense mechanisms built up around this grief and attachment and, you know, like limiting beliefs and unconscious, like, you know, ideas that we're not aware of because it hasn't been aggravated enough. We just have been used to living in this very low grade, very subtle depression that's almost undetectable. But it's really affecting our productivity and our enthusiasm and our lust for life. It's like making us feel like a malaise, like a burnout, or like you know, it's just not even our original like enthusiasm or engagement with what we're doing. It's almost like going through the motions or having highway hypnosis when you're driving, right? So without getting lost in, you know, getting down in the dumps, try to identify this and, you know, recognize it and acknowledge that so you can let go and move forward unencumbered by this grief that is this like low vibration that's like this sandbag that's holding your hot air balloon. Negotiation. So Jupiter in Libra, it's like, this has a couple of meanings. Part of it is being able to have a talent for gentle persuasion, right? Instead of like forcing something ahead, forcing something to happen. When you are trying to force something or being overly assertive or over domineering, it's coming from a place of lack. It's coming from a fear that you're not going to get what you want, so you're trying to force it. Now, this full moon in Leo coming up, there is like the shadow side of Leo is to be a little bit over domineering because they're so sure of what they want. They want to make it happen. They're so fiery, right? So don't feel like you have to force your way into success. Like approach life with a gentle persuasion towards what you want, not only in your communication, but literally your pursuit towards your goals. Relax a little bit, and when you can get your emotions under control and your emotions aren't all over the place and you're more consistent and certain and stable, that's when you're going to achieve your goals. That's when you're going to create success. That's when you're going to have forward movement and forward progress, and even like real success and abundance and recognition for what you're doing. I think that there was something in the negotiation card that I didn't want to miss that I was going to read. There is a need to overcome patterns of people pleasing. Jupiter in Libra can be so overly accommodating that they can feel like they need to please everyone. And so in doing that, it's like they abandon themselves and they overpromise to everybody, and then they can't meet the demands, and instead of like, you know, overachieving, they underachieve because they spread themselves too thin. All right, where is negotiation? Oh, here we go. So, overcome people pleasing. Oh, it does portend, and back to like the whole like not giving up on your dreams. Don't give up on yourself. Don't settle for less than you deserve, because this portends a strong and lasting relationship or marriage, or the possibility of one. Also, lucky enough to find themselves in the satisfying position of acquiring much material and spiritual well-being. So again, like expansion in our well-being and fulfillment is on the horizon. Like up levels are here for the taking, but we have to like we have to do the little things like that the hero has, the little checkpoint things. Like we've got to overcome our ego in certain places to up level into that, right? So then there's also a warning to not be, this also came up in the 2024 predictions. Be careful about who you collaborate with. Here it says, take care not to get involved with grandiose schemes and speculative partnerships. They might wreck the good things that they already have. So yeah, there was a 3 of Pentacles in reverse in the 2024 yearly overall predictions. And it was just like, be discerning about who you collaborate with and who you involve yourself with this year, because it can affect your abundance, right? So be very mindful and discerning and wise about that. Also, with Jupiter and Libra together, that kind of encourages this Libra's tendency to see the best in all sides. And so it can exaggerate Libra's, downfall and shortcoming of being indecisive, because they see the value and the possibility everywhere. So don't be so overly optimistic that you broaden your vision to the point where you can't focus on any one thing or you can't make a decision. There is like a big ask here to be very decisive. To be decisive and decide within yourself to like move forward and stick to the plan and stick to the routine. And there is an ask here to generally be decisive, make up your mind about things. The universe can't deliver until you make up a decision and you have a steady, consistent frequency and vibration that you're sending out. So when you have clarity, the universe will have clarity about how and what to deliver to you. All right, you guys, I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. We will be back together for Secret Teachings of Jesus tomorrow night. And then after I turn this video off, I am going to continue on with our 2024 prediction series and at least do January, if not February, and possibly more. So keep an eye out for that. Those are going to be excellent videos to have as a reference point through the year, just to keep you aware of influences that might come up through the year that might throw you off your game. So if you know kind of what to brace yourself for and to prepare yourself for, you won't miss out on opportunities and you won't be caught out of left field with triggers. All right, y'all. Ciao.